Round 1 of the daily, so let's go through this here. We open on a pretty solid hand here. It's a little weak to White Weenie, but at the same time, we just got a great setup here against any other non-White Weenie deck. He has a Steel Sabotage there. That's important to note because in the mirror match, the only thing Steel Sabotage is good for is resetting your own Wellsprings or countering theirs. That was a fantastic move on his part. Normally, you want to save that in other matches for cards that are relevant, but in this matchup, Artifact Destruction is horrible. This Divine Offering in my hand is just the worst. It's essentially a non-card because I'm not going to use it on his cards. The only thing I might use it on is my own card, but I already have a Phyrexian Core in play, so I'm not going to be using it at all. Unless he has Artifact Finishers, but most of our blue-white control decks do not have Artifact Finishers. So if a Consecrated Sphinx here, if he does not have to disperse, we're going to get to draw 2 cards, which is very nice. So he needs to counter with a Karn or Volition Reigns. He's got the Karn, so it's kind of bad for us. Hopefully we can draw a land here and play our own card, Ledger Rule his Karn. It's really annoying that we have to do this here, but we have no other play. We can't let a Karn sit around on the board. So our opponent, this is his turn to shine here. Fortunately for us, we have 2 Dismembers. Normally Dismember is not very good in this matchup, but if you have 2 of them, you can kill a Consecrated Sphinx. We top deck a Karn, which is just nice. If I had known we were going to top deck it, we may have played it differently. But we did not know that, so we're going to have to play that way. We counter the Elspeth because Elspeth can take out Karn if she creates tokens. We sacrifice our Wellspring to get a land before we play our Elspeth. We leave Divine Offering up, but it's probably not going to do anything. The way he's acting now, it looks like he's mana flooded though, so that's important to note. He goes for a Consecrated Sphinx here, so that's annoying. He's going to get to draw 2 cards, but we might be able to land our Karn, depending on if he drew a Stoic Rebuttal at this point. So fortunately for us, he has not drawn a Stoic Rebuttal to this point. We're actually pretty lucky because he should have drawn one by now. Fortunately though, he's looked really mana flooded here. He's got to bounce his own Wellspring to replay it. He finds a Phyrexian Core, so he's drawing more cards, but it looks like he's mana flooded by the way he's playing. We get to start Karning away his hand, as you'll see here on his exile cards. We Karned away a Seachrome Coast, and we're continuing to generate tokens with Elspeth. He draws another land and concedes the game. So in the sideboarding, we take out the Sunblasts and a few of the other cards, as I showed you in the deck tech. And we're going to go to game 2 here. So this hand's pretty solid again. We're missing a blue mana, but at the same time we have the Hero Bladehold to get aggressive against him if he taps out early. So it's looking pretty good. We draw the island, just fantastic here. So we're going to keep on going like we can. So here we can tap out for the Hero Bladehold, but if we do, he gets to play an Elspeth, and that's bad for us, so we keep on waiting. And we get to play Ichor Wellspring while keeping up Stoic Rebuttal. It's nice here. We draw another Hero Bladehold, so we'll be fine. He Sun Zeniths himself for 2, which is like the worst divination ever. I mean, he may have needed it at that point, but you really want to hit it when it's big. So we get more lands. Hopefully we can land a Hero Bladehold with counter backup. Here we're going to wait on his turn, actually. So he goes for an Elspeth. We counter it. He doesn't want to fight. He just wants to make sure we don't resolve a Koth or something. Not Koth, a Karn. So we go to a Hero Bladehold here. It resolves. He disperses it, which is fine with us. We don't actually have any Stoic Rebuttals in our hand, but we're bluffing. Fortunately for us, he calls our bluff, so we have to bounce his Consecrated Sphinx. He counters that, so we're going to get to Volition Reigns' Consecrated Sphinx. Unfortunately, I misclicked here, and I consecrated Volition Reigns my own land, and we have no out. We have outs, but I was feeling pretty dumb after doing that, so I quit immediately on tilt. Don't do that at home. But we're pretty much dead anyways. This card's pretty horrible when your opponent has Consecrated Sphinx in play. And this card doesn't do anything to keep the Consecrated Sphinx back on defense. And we had no way to kill it in sight. So that's what happened. So we're going to move on to round 3, game 3 of round 1. That was really embarrassing there. We might have just won that game straight up if we had actually resolved that Volition Reigns correctly, but well, he may have done fine too. If he had a Karn after that, he could have killed our Volition Reigns. We would have drawn 2 cards, but he'd have a Karn and a Consecrated Sphinx in play, so there's no way to know for sure, but I know that Volition Reigning your own land is bad. So here we got a lot of threats in our hand, not a lot of land. So we can't play land go very well. We're going to throw out a Hero Bladehold here, because even if he counters it, he won't be able to play an Elspeth afterwards. Now here's an important point here. I decide that I'm going to go for another hero, an Elspeth, because he probably hasn't drawn 2 Stoic Rebuttals. Fortunately for us, he had drawn 2 Stoic Rebuttals. It wasn't mathematically likely for him to have, but at the same time, it was possible. I'm not sure. At the same time, we're low on lands as well, and we can't play a draw-go game without lands, so I figured it was just best to go for threats here and see if we can stick one. Fortunately, we don't draw lands. We have a lot of 6 drops and 5 lands in play. The nice thing is Hero Bladehold does trump Elspeth. So we get to continue to attack Elspeth, whittling her down 2 points a turn. We'll counter the Sunblast Angel so we can continue our attack. Sunblast Angel is pretty horrible in this matchup, in my opinion. I don't really think he should use it, but at the same time, it was nice for him there. So we attack again. We can either leave the counterspell magic or play Consecrated Sphinx. I don't want to get hit by Karn, so I keep counter magic up. So here we're going to be able to attack for quite a bit here. Well, he chumps here, so he goes for a Blue Sun Zenith. We have to counter. We can't let him get that far ahead on cards, so hopefully he doesn't have much in his hand. He's got a Volition range, which is annoying, but we can deal with that. So we play a Consecrated Sphinx here. If he has a Disperse, we're in trouble, but he does not seem to have it. He sacrifices a Wellspring, which will not get him anything but a basic land, as we know. And we draw a Karn. The reason why we're not attacking the Consecrated Sphinx is it keeps his Hero Bladehold off us. The Ichor Wellspring did not yield a land, which is kind of annoying. We finally draw one off of the Consecrated Sphinx there, but it looks like he's flooded. So we're flooded with spells, and he's flooded with lands. We get to play a Hero Bladehold. We let that resolve because we don't have any way to stop that. We discard a Mycosynth Wellspring. And he draws a Mycosynth Wellspring, which is just fine with me. If he had drawn an Ichor Wellspring, we would have drawn more of a Consecrated Sphinx, but we actually have trouble getting rid of the cards in our hand as it is right now. So we go for Karn Liberated there. We try to get rid of his Volition Reigns. We know if he draws a Volition Reigns on our own Karn, he can only get 1 activation out of it, so that's just fine with us. And we win the game there through attrition, and he's pretty flooded. So I'll see you in round 2.